Hi, hey, hello. So, the other day, I was having a conversation with, no, she just laid down, this wonderful, perfect, beautiful being, which totally contradicts the point of this video, the topic of this video. But her name is Mom. This is the most wonderful living creature I've ever met. Anyway, I'm very upset. And we were on a porch. I'm in hysterics. I'm talking to her. I'm really coming to conclusions and wondering, why are you so perfect? Why? I've had childhood dogs. I've been surrounded by dogs all my life, but I've never loved a dog so much, or another animal so much. I've never just loved the presence of one, loved their personality, loved the entirety of their being. And I had been thinking about this as I'm having this conversation with her. This conversation is in I'm talking to her. So I realize, well, in my mind, I'm in this place. I'm wondering, why am I so difficult to love? Why have I always been so difficult to love? Why have people always had issues with me all of my life? Why have I always, just, you get the general gist. And I look at her and I'm like, why are you so wonderful? And why are you so easy to love? Why does it just come so easily? And I've just never had an issue or felt anything negative towards you. And I realize she makes herself easy to love. She behaves, she listens, she fits into this perfect box of what you want a dog to be, which I hate that whole idea that we need to put animals or people or whatever into boxes in order for them to be lovable or tolerable or worthy of your time. Mom, can you sit up just a little bit, just for a minute? Can you sit up for the video? No. And I realize she has a wonderful personality. She's incredibly calm when she needs to be, energetic when she's supposed to be, listens when she does. She's one of those dogs who intuitively know what you're saying when you're saying it. And that just makes her so easy to love. And I realize mine and a lot of people's affection for her isn't unconditional. We can say it is, but it isn't. But at the end of the day, so many people love her so much, and she's so perfect because she fits into this perfect box. She's convenient. And that's a big thing with loving people. Hold on. With loving people, a lot of people think that love and relationships, friendships with family needs to be easy, perfect, convenient. And if it's not, then they're like, okay, there's problems. This must not be a good relationship. This must not be a good thing. And I realized in this conversation with her, again, she made herself perfect. She made herself perfectly lovable. And even I can admit, if she was difficult, I wouldn't love her as much as I do. And that's a difficult pill to swallow, is that almost everybody's love is going to be conditional, especially in relationships. A lot of people think like, oh, this person's like this, or they disrespected me, or, well, okay, pause on that, put a pin on that. I want to emphasize, I'm not talking about pieces of shit, like people who are bad to you, people are, I want to emphasize that, not bad people, not toxic people, not shitty people. But carrying on, I kind of lost my train of thought, but we expect, well, a lot of people have this idea in their mind that friendships and relationships, specifically love relationships, partner relationships, need to be convenient and easy and perfect. And for the most part, yeah, they do. There needs to be a sense of easiness in love. If it's constantly difficult, don't stay in something like that. But a lot of love and partnership, maybe not a lot of it, but some of it is always going to have to be compromised. If you really love somebody and you really want this person to continue to be in your life, there's always going to have to be a sense of compromise. Think about your sibling, for example, if you have one, or your parent. They're not perfect. They've been, they've probably been shitty every once in a while. They fuck with you every once in a while. It's not perfect, but they're still in your life. They're still a sibling. And this is, or your sister or your brother. You're still going to stick in their life. Maybe they could do something shitty, but eventually you guys are gonna, and it's always gonna be worth it. 7 times, 8 times out of 10? I don't know. Most of the time, it's always gonna be worth it, though. And we kind of loosen up our need for convenience in with family to keep connection. Like with friends, for example, you know, maybe they're flighty, maybe they do something, maybe they've personality traits that you don't like, and oh my god, this is a whole other topic of kind of compartmentalizing friends and keeping them at a specific distance instead of relying the entirety of this relationship in your mind is this person needs to be perfect, this person needs to be my best friend, this person needs to be this, and this. Well, sometimes we just gotta be like, okay, well, if this person's not these things, maybe we can keep them at a little bit more of a distance and they can be this friend instead of this friend that's my best friend, you know? And of course it's not the same in relationships, partnerships, specifically. But my point is, I don't think this is going to be a very long video, that if you really love somebody, there's always going to be 3 things if you guys have a disagreement. Number 1, you guys talk about it, and if they're comfortable with changing that aspect of themselves, you guys are comfortable with that, then that's amazing. You just calmly communicate and things change. Number 2, that's a part of their personality. They don't want to change. They can't exactly change, or they just don't want to, which is fine unless it's bad behavior and they're treating you terribly. You just have to learn to live with it. Not even learn to live with it, learn to love it. You know, if you really love this person and you really see something, you don't want to let them go, you just have to be like, you know what, like, I can't, they're not perfect, but part of partnership is loving somebody unconditionally, and most people, especially in relationships, they love conditionally. We all do it, most people do it, and I don't want to say everyone, there's always an exception, but most people do it, and they feel themselves losing this love for their partner because they're not everything, almost just about everything they want them to be. And I just want to come here to say, like, that's not a fair thing. It's not a fair thing on either end. It's not fair to yourself to change things that you don't want to change for somebody else because they can't accept a specific part of you, or they can't accept things that you are, if it's not bad or harmful. And sometimes you may even perceive some things as bad, but in reality it's just something you communicate about, you talk over, you change, or you just learn to be okay with it. Change your mentality about it. Be like, you know what, I don't actually mind that this person has this trait. I know, like, I love all of these other traits about them. I love this person as a whole. Maybe, like, I need to move forward and change my perspective about this, or change myself, because there's the first 2 options. They change or you change. You change your perspective or they change the behavior. Only if they're okay with it, though, because again, it's not fair for either side to be doing this. It's not fair for you to ask somebody to change themselves or to be different for your convenience, because you can't put somebody into a box. You approached this person, or they approached you, whatever, who approached you. You guys decided to get in a partnership together. You agreed to be with this person. You can't change this person. Again, unless you discuss it and they're like, okay, well, yeah, I'll be willing to change, yeah, whatever. And yeah, we gotta stop putting people in boxes. And I want to just say, like, you aren't difficult to love. Most people's love is just always gonna be conditional. It's just a fact of human nature. It's just how people are. Except, wait, no, backtrack. No, fuck. I was gonna say, nobody's perfect, and nobody's gonna fit in this box of convenience for you, so you should stop looking for that. Unless your mom the dog, she's perfect. I'm not sick. I'm coming down from something, bear with me. See, look at her. She's perfect. But you're not ever going to meet a person like that unless they're suppressing themselves, changing themselves for you, and they're miserable and they're not being their full selves. You can't change somebody. And if you feel the need to, and if it really gets to you and you really can't bear it, then you leave. You don't stay. You can't stay and keep trying to change this person, because it doesn't work like that. And you can't get angry at them. You can't berate them. You can't be like, why can't you just be like this? Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work like that, you know? Like, we're people. We're gonna be the way we are, unless, again, I want to emphasize, unless you're toxic, you're bad, you're treating people like shit. But, yeah, that's my word for today. Or maybe try to open yourself up to unconditionally loving people more. Unconditionally loving people is in not putting rules on love, not putting rules on your affection, unless, I'm going to stop emphasizing that, but I want to say, you know what I mean, but no boxes, nope, wait, can't do this, no doing this, bye-bye.